So welcome you all to the training session of 7QC tools. And today, after the clause of confidentiality, we will quickly go through what we have learned in day 1 and day 2, the 4 tools that we have learned. And after that, we will go through the tool number 5, that is stratification. And if time permits, we will go through the tool number 6, histogram. Otherwise, we will finish it tomorrow. So clause of confidentiality, as we are telling you at the start of every session, do not share the document, the training content on any of the public platform, the screenshots, recordings. Share the knowledge, do not share the content directly without the permission from us. So what we have learned so far, tool number 1, check sheet. We have seen that it is used to collect the data and analyze the data. Simple forms of check sheet we have seen, and we have also made a check sheet with the inputs of all you people. Then tool number 2, that is cause and effect diagram, which is also known as fishbone diagram or Ishikawa diagram. So we have seen that it has been used to find out the probable causes of a problem. किसी भी प्रॉब्लम के लिए कुछ probable causes जिम्मेदार होते हैं. So what are these responsible causes which results into the problem? उसको देखने के लिए cause and effect diagram use होती है, and in that we are categorizing it into 6 categories: man, machine, method, material, measurement, and environment, or you can say mother nature. We had also done a exercise with the participation of all you people to find out the probable causes of an accident happen at on the roadside or on the road or at the signal, you can say at the traffic signal. Now you see, the basic thing is the brainstorming session. How you carry out a brainstorming session that will give you the maximum probable causes. You need to involve the people. Then tool number 3 we have seen yesterday, control chart. Control chart is a very classic tool to monitor the condition, the present progress of the process or the product parameters. You can analyze the various trends of the control chart and take the action. Depending on किस तरह से control chart behave कर रहा है, you can take the particular action so that you can bring the process back to the center line or back to where you want it to run. The control charts components were LCL, UCL, that is lower control limit, upper control limit. Then there is a data, and then there is a mean. Event log will also be there. Then we have gone through the various types of control chart. We have not gone through in detail because it is not possible to cover the entire control charts in the time of say 1 hour or 1.5 hours dedicated to this particular tool. We have seen how we can prepare the control chart. Then the formulas which are used to calculate the lower control limit and upper control limit. So various control charts use various formulas to calculate the control limits. The basic thing that you need to understand is every process tends to deteriorate. Okay, every process tends to deteriorate, and control charts are simple and effective tool to monitor the degradation of the process or detect the degradation of this process and take timely action. Then we have taken a example, and we have seen that how we can make a IMR chart, that is individual moving range chart. Then we have gone through the special cause patterns of the control chart. Control chart में जो patterns उभर के आते हैं उसको analyze करके, उसको visualize करके you can find out कि उसमें special cause है या नहीं है. हमेशा LCL और UCL के बाहर पॉइंट जाता है तभी स्पेशल कॉज होता है, ऐसा नहीं है. दैट इज ओनली वन ऑफ द पैटर्न यू कैन से. Apart from that, there are 7 other patterns which are well within the control limits, but still there can be a special cause. Then tool number 4, scatter diagram, we have seen. It is also known as the scatter plot, and it is used to correlate the two factors where you are suspecting that yes, they are correlated with each other, or there some relationship exists between the two parameters. We have also seen how to calculate it manually, how to calculate that manually, that also we have seen. And we have also seen how to prepare the scatter plot on the Excel sheet. We have also seen how to display the R square value and the equation on the chart, on the scatter plot. Then we have seen various types of the control, the scatter plot, the positive correlation, negative correlation, no correlation is there, and mixed correlation. So this is all about the tool number 4, that is now tool number 5 is stratification. After the tool number 4, the tool number 5 is stratification. The stratification, as the name suggests, it is nothing but sorting the data. Okay, if you sort out the data, अगर आपने डाटा का sorting किया, just a minute. Yes, so let us start tool number 5, that is stratification. So stratification, as the name suggests, it is nothing but a sorting of the data, because when you sort the data, it will help you to analyze it in a better way. So you can utilize the stratification technique along with the other data analysis tools also. And when you know that the data came from various sources like various operators, various shifts, or various machines on various days, various months, in case of the sales data, अलग अलग लोकेशन से आ रहा है, अलग अलग जोन से आ रहा है. If you have many more products, then you can analyze your data depending on the product type. Okay, so basically when you analyze the data in a stratified way, it will give you more insights into the data. Okay, it will give you more insights into the data, and you will be able to analyze it in a better way. So that is the purpose of this stratification tool. Now, for example, if you want to analyze the number of admissions, okay, if you want to check the number of admissions in a particular college or in the colleges, so you can say that in that particular year 3,000 people, candidates, or 4,000 candidates has got admission into the engineering college. Okay, but you will be in a better position if you know which college got how many students, or in which stream got how many students. Then you can analyze that, yes, where you have to take the action. फिर आपको पता चलेगा कि आपको actions कहाँ पे लेना है, where you want to take the action so that to increase the students count. Okay, now if you are working in a ministry, if you are working in the say tourism ministry, and you have been given a task that you have to increase the number of visitors into India came for the tourism purpose. So you have a data that last year, okay, last year, that is in the year of 2021-22, or you can say 2021, then only you can make a plan. No? Total 1.5 million, okay, million people have visited India. Now you have been given a task that you should increase it to 2 million or so. You want to increase the tourists to 2 million people in a year. Now, can you analyze this only 1.5 million and take the action? If I give this data to you that, okay, there are 1.5 million people, now I want it to make 2 million. Yes, Berendra, now it's okay. Okay, if I give you the data of 1.5 million and now I want you to make it 2 million, can you make 2 million? Yes or no? Please answer. Or how you are going to make it 2 million?
सॉरी सर, आपका क्वेश्चन क्या था? वो आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी, इसलिए मैं सुन नहीं पाया।
हाँ, अगर आपके इंडिया में 15 लाख लोग विजिट करते हैं एज अ टूरिस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल, और आपको टास्क दिया जाता है कि अभी इसको आपको 20 लाख करना है, जो आपके विजिटर है उसको आपको 20 लाख करना है, यू हैव टू मेक इट 2 मिलियन, 20 लाख पीपल शुड विजिट, तो आप कैसे करोगे? क्या सिर्फ आपको ये 1.5 मिलियन का जो डेटा दिया है, 15 लाख का जो डेटा दिया है जस्ट वैल्यू, क्या वो सफिशिएंट है या फिर आपको और भी कुछ डेटा चाहिए रहेगा?
और भी डेटा चाहिए सर?
हाँ, कैसा, कौन सा डाटा चाहिए? व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डेटा यू विल रिक्वायर?
एक तो सर हम अपने प्लेस को अच्छा बना कर मतलब एक तो उससे भी अच्छा बना सकते हैं।
हाँ, ओके, देन नहीं, पर वो 1.5 का 2 लाख कैसे होगा? 20 लाख कैसे होगा? 15 लाख का 20 लाख कैसे होगा? जैसे आपको बोला है प्रोडक्शन
ऐड
बनाओ।
करके।
हाँ, यस, हाँ, ऐड
हाँ
करके, पर ऐड कहाँ करोगे आप? कहाँ पे ऐड करोगे? कौन सी कंट्री में ऐड करोगे? कब
लेकिन
करोगे
जो
ऐड?
अब ये 1.5 लाख और ये लोग आते हैं ना सर, तो मतलब और ये उन्हीं के जरिए हम लोग ऐसा कर सकते हैं सर,
बट
उनको अच्छा फील।
हाँ, पर उसके लिए आपको डेटा चाहिए रहेगा ना कि वो कौन सी कंट्री से लोग आते हैं, है ना? वो कहाँ पर विजिट करते हैं, फ्रॉम विच कंट्रीज दे आर कमिंग. So this 1.5 million data, if you want to solve any problem or improve anything, you require a data कि from which country the persons are coming. You need to stratify as per the attractions. आप बोलोगे कि मैं अट्रैक्शन जो हमारे टूरिस्ट प्लेस सुधार दूंगा, बट कौन सी जगह पे विजिट करते हैं उसको सुधारने पड़ेंगे आपको. So you need to stratify the data of this 1.5 million into various categories. Country wise, tourist attraction wise, how many days they are staying, what month they are visiting. Is it not that every month same number of people are coming? So you need to check in which month maximum people are coming, in which month from which country maximum people are coming. Then you need to advertise that particular thing in that particular country 1 or 2 or 3 months advance. 2-3 महीने पहले आपको वहां पे एडवर्टीजमेंट करना पड़ेगा आपके यहाँ के टूरिस्ट प्लेस के बारे में, ताकि वो लोग अपनी प्रिपरेशन करके आपके यहाँ पे विजिट करने आए. So basic thing is that you need to stratify the data into various categories, useful categories. For example, अगर आपका प्रोडक्शन अभी से फॉर एग्जाम्पल 1000 टायर्स है, ओके, नाउ आई वांट टू मेक इज 1500. तो ये 1000 टायर को आपको पहले स्ट्रेटिफाई करना पड़ेगा ना, कौन से कैटेगरी के टायर्स है, कौन से कैटेगरी में आपके कितना कितना प्रोडक्शन है, शिफ्ट वाइज कितना प्रोडक्शन है, डे वाइज कितना प्रोडक्शन है. सो यू नीड टू स्ट्रेटिफाई द डेटा एज पर द डे वाइज प्रोडक्शन, शिफ्ट वाइज प्रोडक्शन, मशीन वाइज प्रोडक्शन, कैटेगरी ऑफ द टायर वाइज प्रोडक्शन, and then you can make a plan on how to make it 1500. You cannot just imagine or cannot just dream of 1500 tires per day and jump from 1000 to 1500 tires per day. Not possible. Okay. Similar way, the production that you are carrying out in your organization, similar thing happens. Okay. Whatever the production you are carrying out in your organization, if you want to improve that, if you want to improve the production in your organization, what you have to do, you need to analyze the data, you need to stratify the data into useful categories. Okay, that is the thing. I hope it is clear why the stratification is required, so that you can analyze the data in a better way and take the appropriate action to improve the process, to solve the problem. Got it? Any issue? Now if I say that okay, Indian population is 1.2 billion, okay, 120 करोड़ के लोग हैं, okay, अगर इंडियन पॉपुलेशन हम बोलते हैं कि 120 करोड़ के लोग हैं, so it is of no use. Now you tell me, if you just I just give you the data that okay, Indian population is 1.2 billion, 120 करोड़ है, just for the sake of taking on, I am not saying the exact data. Now how many vaccines you need to plan? आपको कैसे पता चलेगा कितनी वैक्सीन चाहिए आपको? क्या आपको 120 करोड़ वैक्सीन चाहिए, 240 करोड़ चाहिए, कितनी वैक्सीन चाहिए? For that you should have approximate data, okay, approximate data on the age of the people, the number of people in that particular category of the age, and based on that you can take decision ki I will give the vaccine to 60 plus, then how many vaccines I will be required, or for example 65 plus, then 45 to 64, for example, this many people are there, so I need to plan for so many vaccines in the second stage. Then about 25 or about 20 to 44, this much people. So you require the data. आपको data चाहिए अलग अलग कैटेगरी में, so that you can take certain actions. आपके पास डेटा होना कि हर एक एज ग्रुप में कितने लोग हैं. तो सिमिलरली आपका जो सेल्स है, आपके यहाँ पे जो प्रोडक्ट बनता है, व्हाट द प्रोडक्ट यू आर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, ओके, यू वांट टू इंप्रूव द सेल्स, है ना, यू वांट टू इंप्रूव द सेल्स. हाउ विल इंप्रूव द सेल्स? टेल मी, पार्टिसिपेट इन द डिस्कशन. ओके, कैसे आप इंप्रूव करोगे? सेल्स आपको इंप्रूव करना है, क्या डाटा चाहिए रहेगा आपको? व्हाट डाटा यू विल रिक्वायर फर्स्ट?
सर जैसे अभी आपने बताया कि एक तो कैटेगरी और ये वाइज में सारी चीजों को हम लोग को और ये
हाँ हाँ
डिवाइड कर लेना है। और
हाँ.
सेकेंड चीज इसके बाद ये है कि और सबसे ज्यादा मार्केट जो हमारा टायर है वो किस किस जगह और जा रहा है और कहाँ सबसे ज्यादा मतलब इसकी डिमांड है सर, तो उसके
हाँ.
हिसाब से हम और ये सेल्स ज्यादा कर सकते हैं
यस, तो व्हाट यू विल
हमारे
डू,
मार्केट के।
आप कैटेगराइज करोगे. यू विल कैटेगराइज इनटू लोकेशन वाइज, कितना कितना सेल्स है, लोकेशन और एरिया वाइज. ओके,
सर
आप फिर कैटेगराइज करोगे द टाइप ऑफ द टायर्स, विच टाइप ऑफ टायर्स आर इन डिमांड,
यस सर।
है ना. देन मंथ वाइज भी करोगे. यू विल कैटेगराइज इनटू द मंथ, इन विच मंथ द मोर demand is there and in which month the less demand is there. So where the less demand is there, you will give some discount or you will have some offers in your hand, so that people get attracted towards the product during that particular day or in that particular month. So basically it categorization of the data into useful categories, analyzing it and then taking appropriate steps will help you to solve the problem, to improve your existing performance. That is the purpose of stratification. Now if I just tell you that okay, you need to improve the production, you need to have the data, shift wise data होना चाहिए आपके पास. कौन से शिफ्ट में ज्यादा होता है, कौन से शिफ्ट में कम प्रोडक्शन होता है, that data you should be having. Whether there is a problem with the B shift, whether there is a problem with the A shift or C shift, then machine wise data should be there, operator wise data should be there. Is there any issue with the operators? Do they lack some skill, do they lack some facility, can we help them to improve their productivity? So all these things, all these steps you can take only when you are knowing this data, है ना, आपको ये डेटा पता होना. So that is the purpose of stratification. This is one of the data. Now industrial example I already given you, that is machine breakdown data. So now if you want to reduce the breakdown time or number of breakdowns, because when the breakdown happens in the organization, it's the loss. You cannot produce during that particular time, so it is nothing but a loss to the organization. So if you want to take certain steps to reduce the breakdown time, to reduce the number of breakdowns, machine breakdowns, you need to stratify the data as per machine, shift, and type of failure. Then you can see which is more, which is less, and then you start taking the action. So where to take the action? Again, you are going to use another tool, that is Pareto chart, that we will see tomorrow. Then customer complaint. Like customer complaint is there, then nature of complaint, customer, product involved. So if you want to reduce the customer complaint, I tell you that, okay, you have 10 complaints in the last 2 months. You cannot do anything unless and until you stratify it month wise. What is the nature of complaint? Who were the customer? What are the products involved? Then you will see whether the complaints are in a particular product, whether the problem is with a particular customer or area, what kind of problem you are facing. So that particular problem, then you start, oh, there is a repetitive problem of this nature, then you will use another tool. Now once you know that, okay, this particular problem, okay, blowhole in the or air pocket in the tire, that is one of the problem. Now to solve that, what kind of tool you will use? To analyze further, what kind of tool you are going to use? You need to do it in a multiple way, है ना? First, to collect the data, you are going to use the check sheet, है ना? Again, categorize data, you will put it into the check sheet only, the format, different categories. And now to analyze further, what kind of tool you use? कौन सा tool use करोगे आप किसी प्रॉब्लम को फर्दर सॉल्व करने के लिए?
सर फिशबोन डायग्राम.
Yes, you will use the fishbone diagram. You will use the fishbone diagram to further analyze the problems. If it is related to the quality, related to something. So whether, like even sales also, lower sales. So is there any machine related issue? Is there any man related issue? Do you have any representative in that particular area or not? Is there any, sometime a method, the method of sales, is it proper or not? Sometimes some categories may not be relevant, so leave that. But fishbone diagram can be used for a variety of the problem. It is not only your shop floor problem, it can be used for the purchase, it can be used for the sales. Now to improve the sales volume, as I told you, customer, region, product type, month, all these things can be categorized. Then safety data, you want to reduce the number of accidents. If you want to reduce the number of accidents, what you have to do? You need to categorize it. You need to categorize it into what kind of injury, what body part is involved, what is the working section, is there any repeating section. So what you will do, you will, if the one section is having a more problem, you will focus on that. If you come to know that the body part, the finger is mostly involved in that accident, you will see how you can protect the finger. You will take certain steps. If you know that a particular section is having problem, you will arrange the awareness training program. You will analyze the problem again, okay, why it is happening, what is the reason, why the accidents are happening. So you will take action and solve the issue. So these are the industrial examples. The categorization is a very simple thing, and no formulas involved like what we have seen in the control charts or the stratification also. Not stratification, scatter plot. It is basically, you have to just collect the data using the check sheet, collect all the relevant data and what is required for the stratification or the analysis. Then you have to stratify the data into useful categories for the analysis. Okay, you need to categorize it into, like in the previous sheet we have seen various categories, whether it's the region, whether it's the section, whether it's the machine wise. So depending on what kind of data. Now that's why the role of check sheet is very important. Why the check sheet is very important? Now after 1 month or 2 months you want to analyze certain data and you go and check, oh, you don't have that particular data in hand because you have not collected in the past. That's why while designing the check sheet, you need to consider all these things. Okay, all the relevant data should be mentioned in the check sheet so that in future, if it is required for analysis, you can retrieve the data from the check sheet and take the analyze it and take the action. Then you have to stratify into useful categories for the analysis. Now, the stratified data you can show in the tabulated form also, or you can show it in the form of graph also. Now, when you represent the stratified data on a graph, you can do it on the scatter plot also or histogram. Use color coding or patterns to visually distinguish between the categories. Like if you are showing the trend or the region-wise sales of two different products, okay, region-wise sales of two different products, and you are showing it in the line graph, okay. So you have to make the different color for these two lines. For this is product A, this is product B, and then there is a region. This is the region of the plotting of the stratified data. How you are going to plot the stratified data? So stratified data can be represented or presented in the form of check sheets on scatter plot or histogram भी आप दिखा सकते हो. It is just showing the data. Now when you show the stratified data, ये आपको बताया मैंने कि आपको अलग अलग कैटेगरी भी करना है. अगर आपने स्कैटर प्लॉट पे कर रहे हो या आपके लाइन चार्ट पे कर रहे हो, दिस इज द डाटा ऑफ क्लास ए डिफरेंट कलर, क्लास बी डिफरेंट कलर. Okay, so basically you need to distinguish, because when you want to represent it, when you want to present it in front of people, they should easily understand. When you want to use this stratification, when the data come from the several sources or conditions such as shifts, days, machines, suppliers, regions, अलग अलग जगह से जब डेटा आता है या अलग अलग कैटेगरीज में आप उसको स्ट्रेटिफाई कर सकते हो, तब आपको यूज करना है. And when your data analysis required, the categorization of the data into various categories. जब आपका डाटा एनालिसिस को करने के लिए आपको डेटा जो है अलग अलग कैटेगरी में चाहिए रहता, तब आपको ये स्ट्रेटिफिकेशन यूज करना है. नाउ एक एक्सरसाइज है, and this exercise I want you people to do. I will share the screenshot of these things to you and you will do it on your own. Okay, so this will be a home assignment for you. I will show you what is the how you are going to solve it. Basically there is a candy shop owner, है ना, कैंडी जो बेचते हैं वो है लोग, वो उसका शॉप है. नाउ this is the data, this is very jumbled data. Now he want to see, है ना, you need to help that candy shop owner and you need to stratify this data of the candies based on the various categories. Now ये कैंडी है, अलग अलग कलर की दिख रही है आपको, अलग अलग शेप की दिख रही है, तो आपको ये बताना है कि उसको कौन सी कैंडी जो है ज्यादा स्टॉक में रखनी है, कौन सी जो है वो अनपॉपुलर उसका कम स्टॉक रखे. तो आपको ये डेटा कैटेगराइज करना है अलग यूजफुल कैटेगरीज में. ये मैं आपको स्क्रीनशॉट भेजूंगा. आई विल शेयर द स्क्रीनशॉट ऑफ दिस वन एंड यू नीड टू share your categorized data to me over WhatsApp, and that we will show it to you tomorrow. Any problem in understanding this exercise? आपको समझ में आई एक्सरसाइज है? क्या करना है आपको? आपको एक कैटेगराइज करना है, जो डेटा दिख रहा है आपको इसको यूजफुल कैटेगरी में कैटेगराइज करना है. वीरेंद्र समझ में आया आपके?
नो सर.
देखो ये कैंडीज है, ऐसा समझो कि ये शॉप में जो कैंडीज मिलती है ना, गोलियां मिलती है, वो बेच रहा है कोई, ठीक है. अब ये जो डेटा है आपको ये दिख रहा है ना, यहाँ पर स्क्रीन दिख रही है ना आपको?
यस सर, स्क्रीन भी.
यस, तो ये आपको जो डेटा है इसको स्ट्रेटिफाई करना है अलग अलग कैटेगरी में. तो आप कैसे कैसे स्ट्रेटिफाई करोगे, इसको कैसे कैटेगराइज करोगे, ताकि आपको उस कैंडी शॉप वाले को बताना है कि कौन सी गोलियां जो है, कौन सी कलर की, कौन से शेप की गोलियां उसको ज्यादा रखना है. तो आप कैसे स्ट्रेटिफाई करोगे, कलर वाइज करोगे, शेप वाइज करोगे, वो अप टू यू, आपको करना है, वो आपका काम है. ठीक है, तो ये एक्सरसाइज है आप लोगों के लिए.
ओके सर।
है ना। तो ये आपको कल करना है। मैं आपको प्रोग्राम होने के बाद में स्क्रीनशॉट आपके व्हाट्सएप पे आ जाएगा इसका, और फिर आपको इसको कैटेगराइज करके मुझे उसका आंसर भेजना है, एंड देन वी विल डिस्कस इट। ठीक है। नाउ वी विल फॉर नेक्स्ट 15-20 मिनट्स एज आई हैव टू लीव, सो थोड़ा सा हम गो थ्रू करते हैं टूल नंबर 6 हिस्टोग्राम के ऊपर। स्ट्रैटिफिकेशन में किसी को कोई इश्यू है तो दे कैन टेल मी इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट, बिकॉज इट्स अ सिंपल टूल। ओके, सो लेट अस स्टार्ट टूल
सर जो
नंबर।
आपने अभी
हाँ,
और ये क्लास और ये वो सर उसके बारे में कुछ बता रहे थे, वो समझ में नहीं आया सर। और ये क्लास बी क्लास के रूप में हम लोग कैसे डिवाइड करते हैं सर?
देखो, अगर आपका समझो आपको एक डेटा किसी के इसके ऊपर दिखाना है, जैसे मशीन की प्रोडक्टिविटी है ना, अभी अगर आपने मशीन की प्रोडक्टिविटी का डेटा डे वाइज निकाला, ओके लेट मी गो टू द, अभी आप मुझे बताओ कि आपने सेल्स का डाटा निकाला आपके टायर का। ओके, ये मंथ है यहाँ पे समझो जनवरी, फिर है फरवरी, फिर है मार्च, ओके, फिर है अप्रैल, फिर है मई, ऐसे डेटा है समझो आप। अभी आपके दो टाइप के दो अलग अलग टाइप के टायर से उसका डेटा आपने निकाला कि इस महीने में इतने सेल्स हुए, इस महीने में इतने हुए, फिर इतने हुए, इतने हुए। और दूसरा फिर आपने दूसरे टायर का भी निकाला कि ये इतना सेल्स हुआ, इतना सेल्स हुआ अलग अलग महीने में। अब आप मुझे बताओ, अगर मैं ये दोनों को एक ही कलर में रखूंगा, आपको पता है ये कौन सा ये कौन से टाइप का टायर है और ये कौन से टाइप का टायर है? डू यू नो? आपको कैसे पता चलेगा?
नो सर।
आपको कैसे पता चलेगा?
सर आइडेंटिफिकेशन करके
हाँ,
कुछ ना
तो
कुछ
आप इसको जो है,
उसमें
जब
कलर कोडिंग करके सर।
कलर कोडिंग करोगे, आप उसका नहीं लीजेंड्स वहां पे लिखोगे, तभी पता चलेगा। तो आपको जब उसका ये करना है, तो व्हाट यू विल डू, यू विल मेक अ डिफरेंस। सो कैटेगरी ए जो रहेगा टायर टाइप ए एंड टायर टाइप बी का कलर आप अलग करोगे। नाउ आपको जब मैं दिखाऊंगा डेटा, तो आपको पता है कि यहाँ पे नीचे लिखा रहेगा ब्लू लाइन मीन्स व्हाट टाइप ऑफ टायर, रेड लाइन मीन्स व्हाट टाइप ऑफ टायर। तो आप जब देखोगे कंप्यूटर के ऊपर डेटा, यू विल नो विच डाटा इज व्हाट। ओके, तो अगर कभी आपका अलग अलग डाटा आप एक ही ग्राफ पे दिखाते हो, तो आपको अलग अलग कलर कोडिंग करना है। अगर आप एक ही डाटा दिखाते हो एक ग्राफ पे, नो प्रॉब्लम। अगर आप एक ही दिखा रहे हो सिर्फ, तो ओके, यहाँ पे तो टाइटल में लिखा रहेगा कि सेल्स ऑफ सेल्स टायर सेल्स ऑफ टाइप दिस फिनिश। तब आपको अलग कलर कौन सा भी रहे, कोई इट डजंट मैटर। ओके, बिकॉज यू नो दिस इज द टाइप, this data represents a particular type of tire, sales data of a particular type of tire. Got it? And if you are overlapping it, or you can say you are utilizing the same graph for representing many more categories, okay, many more types, then different color. अगर आप तीन अलग अलग टाइप का दिखाना चाहते हो, नो प्रॉब्लम, आप तीसरा जो रहेगा आपका ऐसे रहे, ग्रीन रहेगा। नाउ यू नो कि कौन से इसका ज्यादा है, कौन से इसका कम है, कौन सा डिक्लाइन हो रहा है। ओके, अगर if you can make the same type of tire but different type of regions, then also this is the type of tire wise month wise sale. Then there is a region A, region B, region C, area D, area F, E. Now type of tires, this is the various regions. Now you can see what kind of tires, which type of tires are popular in which area. Then you have to use different color. Same color will not give you any input. Okay, clear Birendra?
यस सर, क्लियर।
Okay. Now we will move to the histogram. Just a minute. Somebody please confirm that yes, it is visible to. So tool number 6 is a histogram. It is also a very classic tool and a very useful tool also. it is also known as a frequency distribution diagram. Why it is known as frequency distribution? Because here you are distributing the data as per the frequency of occurrence. How many times this particular data has occurred for that particular that particular value. ठीक है, कि वो जो पर्टिकुलर वैल्यू है सेट ऑफ वैल्यू में कितने बार वो आई है, हाउ मेनी टाइम्स इट हैज बीन रिपीटेड, इट हैज came in the set of data. Now just looking at this data, okay, can you people tell me, this is the weight of a distribution of weight of a person. Now in a particular class there are the people, and you can say person or you can say the material that you receive. Instead of person, just consider that it is a weight of the material you received of a particular category. Okay, now you tell me which number of weight has appeared for the maximum time. Can you just look at the table and tell me quickly within say 5 seconds or so? Can you tell me कि कौन सी weight जो है सबसे ज्यादा बार appear हुआ है? Which weight has appeared for the largest time? Can you tell just by looking at the data? And the data is very less, and it is hardly 81 data, I think. Now it is only the 81 number of data. So 81 number of data are there only. So can you people tell me which number has appeared how many times? Which weight has appeared how many times? So you are saying 56 has appeared largest time, 56. How many times it has appeared? What is the second number? What is the third number? Which is the lowest? So the purpose of asking you people, just looking at the table, now it is only 81 data. If I give you this 810 times, not 10 times, 810 data, 800 data if I give you, how you will come to know कि कौन सा डेटा कितनी बार आया हुआ है? So for that you need to use the histogram. So histogram is the tool which will tell you which value in a set of given data has appeared how many times. Yeah, 58 appeared 8 times. So now it will take a lot of time for you. If you check it, that's why we will convert it into the histogram. So the histogram of the weight distribution will look like this. Okay. Here, basically it is used for analyzing your data with respect to the specification limits. So what are the products you are manufacturing or your incoming products? You can check, you have certain specification from this millimeter to this millimeter you are allowing, and then you have the product. So you need to check your product whether it is the center of the process or not, whether maximum product is having at the center of the specification limit or not. It is the lower specification, different than control limit, okay, and it is the upper specification, USL, not 4, USL. So you need to check. Now if your specification is, lower specification is 40, upper is 72, or you can say your lower specification is 38, upper is 75. Now you know that all data is within your specification. One thing is that, and number two, you know that yes, it is a normally distributed, means maximum data is at the center of the specification. But sometimes it may happen that you are getting the data nearer to your lower specification limit. ऐसा भी हो सकता है, यहाँ पे डाटा मैक्सिमम आपका लोअर स्पेसिफिकेशन के पास भी आ सकता है. It can happen. Okay, so the parameters of your process, of your product, you can analyze it over the histogram also to check where your data is distributed. आपका data जो है कहाँ पे डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड है, what is the distribution of your data. For that purpose you can use the histogram. Now जब हमने वो पुराना टेबल देखा लास्ट पेज पे, now this table is converted into the histogram. Now you know the weight 56 has appeared 9 times, the weight 54 and 58 has appeared 8 times. इस तरह से आपको इजीली विजुअलाइज हो गया कि कौन सा कितनी बार आ रहा है. ओके, सेम फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर एनालाइजिंग द टेम्परेचर. आप you have taken the data of hundreds of data of a particular month. आपने पूरे महीने का डेटा ले लिया, and now you want to check with respect to the specification limit. Okay, with respect to the specification limit, आपका डेटा, आपके जो डेटा का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है, where it is with respect to your specification limits. So temperature, for example, your temperature range is 1000 degree is the LCL, lower control, sorry, LCL, LSL, lower specification limit, and it is your USL is 1020. is the USL. Now you need to check where your data is, means 1001 how many times, 1002 how many times, 1003 how many times, 1020. So you can make into various categories, various bins, not categories, basically the range of the temperatures, and you will come to know if it is like this, then it is very good, because the chances of it going down will be much lesser. But now just imagine when you analyze the data and you find out that your distribution is like this one, क्या होता है, इसका मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of this now? Can anybody tell me क्या हुआ है यहाँ पर? What has happened? डाटा किस तरफ ज्यादा है?
Lower side it is more when compared to higher side.
Yes. So the chances, now it means that you are at the lower side of the specification. Now you can check it against the control, your control chart also. The major difference between the control chart and the histogram is what? The control charts are plotted against the control limits, whereas specification, the histograms are plotted against the specification limits. So this data has come from where? From the regular data you have collected. So basically what we have seen yesterday, this is your average line, this is your lower control limit, and this is your upper control limit. Now what happened? Many of the data are like this. Your data are like this. And you are driving your vehicle nearer to this area. That's why it has come on the your histogram. Many of the data has come like this. Many of the data are came here towards lower specification limit. Okay. Now if you run your vehicle nearer to the lower limit, because your lower specification limit will be after this, and the control limit has to be within the specification limits. Always remember, control limit हमेशा आपके specification limits के अंदर होना चाहिए, नहीं तो आपके product out of spec बनेंगे. Now the chances of product getting out of spec is more if you run like this. If you run like this here only, which is this case, the chances of product going outside is lesser. That will define your sigma capability. Okay, that will define your sigma capability. So now by looking at the graph, by looking at the not graph, by looking at the structure of the histogram, you will come to know where your data is moving, whether you are having the data from two sources. Sometimes you will have two peaks also like this, then data is like this, and then here. It means it has come from two different sources. So we will see that various types of histograms. But before that, let us see how we can prepare the histograms. So histogram, there are various ways you can use to prepare it. One, you can do it by manually distributing the data. Okay, how you do that? Just like you have done here, you manually distribute like 40 data how many times. You have to manually check 40 how many times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, you will write 2 times. Then 42 how many times, then 44, or you can take a range also like 40 to 42 how many times, 42 to 44 how many times. You need to manually calculate, and then you have to make a bar graph on the Excel sheet. That is one of the way. Another way, you can use MS Excel data analysis add-on, which will tell you how this will automatically categorize it. You have to give the bin range. It automatically makes the
सर
histogram for. Yes.
सर और ये LCL एंड UCL निकालने के लिए वो सारे फार्मूले और हर टूल के लिए सेम ही रहेंगे सर, उसका जो
नहीं नहीं,
फार्मूला था?
यहाँ पे तो LSL है ना, स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट. स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट कौन देता है आपको?
सर MR चार्ट देता है. सॉरी.
नहीं नहीं नहीं, स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट नहीं देगा, वो तो कंट्रोल लिमिट देगा. LSL and USL is different. Specification limit is different. It is given by the standard, given by the customer, or given by the designer. For example, आपका जो टायर है, ठीक है, अगर 18 इंच का टायर जो है, आईडी आप चेक करते होंगे उसका.
यस सर.
उसका स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट क्या है? 18 इंच तो हो ही नहीं सकता, तो 18 पॉइंट समथिंग होगा और 17 पॉइंट समथिंग होगा. तो कहां से लेके कहां तक अलाउड है आपको? वो
0.5 तक.
0.5 है ना, तो 18.05 फॉर एग्जांपल, है ना, और 17.05. दैट इज योर स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट. इट इज नॉट द कंट्रोल लिमिट, it's the specification limit. It has been defined on the control plan by your designer. Sometimes it is defined by your customers. Okay, so that is the specification limit. Okay.
ओके सर.
And control limit जो आएगा, that will come from the data, actual data. What actual data you are getting, actual data of this size, then you will calculate the control limit using the formulas. So your control limit can be different. Specification limit is here, but actually your control limit can be different. It will be here because actually you are working within this range. For example, आपके ऑफिस जाने का टाइम जो है, what is your time for reaching to the office? एग्जाम्पल बताओ. 9 o'clock फॉर एग्जाम्पल, है ना. 9 AM आपको पहुंचना है, और हम नीचे के लिए ले लेते 8:30. 8:32 AM to 9 AM is your specification limit for reaching to the office. So this is specification limit, but your control limit can be different. And this specification limit, is it for only you or for all the people coming into that particular shift? It is for all the people. Okay, जितने लोग हैं सबके लिए यही स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट है. बट कंट्रोल लिमिट, Birendra, your control limit can be different depending on what time actually you go to the office. Upendar's can be different. It depends on what time he goes. So the control limit for Upendra can be different. Control limit for you can be, Birendra can be different. For Vaishnavi can be different. For Anand can be different. So everybody can have control limits different based on actual performance. Control limits are calculated based on the actual performance of your data, what your process is actually doing. Control limits can change. Today you have one control limit. After a period of 6 months, if your process performance improves, your control limit can be different. Got it? But control limit will, specification limit will be the same. ठीक है? Birendra, is it okay? जैसे रोड पे आप गाड़ी चलाते हो तो आपकी स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट आपको पता है ना, जहां पर लोगों ने वो व्हाइट कलर की लाइन करके रखी है या डिवाइडर करके रखा है या व्हाइट कलर की, दिस इज योर स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट, इसके बाहर नहीं जाना है आपको. Okay, you cannot move out of this, so this is specification. But some people will drive here, so their control limits are different. Actual कहां पे चलाता है, some people will drive like this, so उनकी control limit अलग है. So control limit is calculated from the data of actual performance of your process, how you are behaving, how you are performing. And specification limit comes from the customer, comes from the design, comes from the standards. Okay, and the histograms are prepared or plotted against the specification limit, not the control limits. Okay, ठीक है.
ओके सर.
Now we will just 4-5 minutes we will go through this. Another is that you can make it on the MS Excel sheet using the data analysis add-on, or you can use the statistical analysis programs tools like the Minitab, Python, R. It can directly give you this, categorize your data into the histogram, or it can prepare a histogram for you quickly. Now histogram consists of what? It consists of data. सबसे पहले तो डेटा होना जरूरी है जो कि आप चेकशीट से कलेक्ट करोगे. Then the category should be there, the number of beans, the number of categories you need to define. Now it is not always you will make for each and individual data 40, 42, 44. No, sometimes you need to club in a data 40 to 42 एक इसमें आएगा, 43 to 45 एक इसमें आएगा, 46 to 48 एक इसमें आएगा, 49 to 51 एक इसमें आएगा. So it is not कि you make a lots and lots of, for each and every individual data you make one bar. No, so that number of bars, okay, number of categories, and then bin range, the range of category, that is this 40 to 42 or 40 to 45. इसका एक formulas होते हैं, and that I will show you, that I will tell you how to select that, how to arrive at that. So what we will do, we will just go through it, and in detail we can go tomorrow and how to make it on the Excel sheet. The thing is that at least 50 points needs to be there. Okay, at least 50 points needs to be there for analysis, for preparing the histogram. It is not a live, it is a postmortem kind of a tool basically. Okay, not like a control chart. Control charts are the live tool. Histogram, it's a postmortem tool. You will analyze the data after you collect it. You have to collect it and then you need to analyze. So at least 50 points you have to take. Then you have to decide the number of categories, that is number of bars. So number of bar कितने लेने हैं हमको, 10, 15, 20, 40. Now on what it depend, why it is required, because that defines the shape of the histogram. Histogram कैसा दिखने वाला है. अगर आप छोटी छोटी कैटेगरी बहुत सारे बार ले लोगे ना तो आपको कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा, है ना. कोई यहाँ पे आएगा, कभी यहाँ पे आएगा, कोई यहाँ पे आएगा, कोई यहाँ पे चला जाएगा, तो you will not get a clear cut shape out of that histogram. That's why it is important to select a appropriate number of bars. Okay, appropriate number of the categories. Now a guideline has been given. Okay, it is not a formula, it's a guideline has been given by the ASQ also, American Society for Quality, and other statistical books also. अगर आपका डेटा 50 to 99 के आसपास है, the data what you have taken, अगर वो 50 से 99 के बीच में है तो around 7 से 9 कैटेगरी you can select. Number of bars जो है ना, around 7 to 9 you can select. Okay, अगर डेटा is 100 to 149, 10 से 11. अब आप इसमें कभी कभी 12 भी कर सकते हो. ओके, और कभी आपको लगता है तो 9 भी कर सकते हो. You need to try it out. It is just a guideline. Okay, if your data is from 150 to 199 number, जो डेटा आपने लिया है फॉर एनालिसिस, अगर वो 150 से लेके 199 के बीच में है, तो नंबर ऑफ बार्स कैन बी 12 से 13. इफ इट इज 200 देन 14, एंड अबाउट 200 15 प्लस आपके इसमें होने चाहिए बार्स. नाउ अगर 1000 है, आप बोलोगे 1000 के लिए कितना लेना है. Appropriately you check, you ट्राई विथ 20, 25, you see whether what kind of shape you are getting, is it too hazy, is it too clear or not, पिक्चर क्लियर होनी चाहिए उसमें से अपने को जब हम वो डाटा को एनालिसिस करेंगे. नंबर 2 विल बी, एक तो हो गया नंबर ऑफ बार्स, एंड नंबर 2 इज द रेंज ऑफ द कैटेगरी और बार्स ऑफ द बीन्स. वो पर्टिकुलर बार में कहां से कहां तक का डेटा आना चाहिए. ओके, तो उसके लिए टोटल रेंज ऑफ द डेटा. अब टोटल रेंज ऑफ द डेटा कैसे निकालोगे? अगर आपने 80 नंबर ऑफ डेटा लिया है, ओके, 80 नंबर डेटा है तो अराउंड आप समझो 9 बार आपने सिलेक्ट कर लिए. अब ये 80 नंबर के डेटा में सबसे मिनिमम वैल्यू, सबसे मैक्सिमम वैल्यू, उसका जो डिफरेंस है दैट इज द रेंज. दोनों के बीच का डिफरेंस जो है वो हो जाता है रेंज. ठीक है, ये हमारी रेंज हो गई. एंड फिर ये डाटा की रेंज होगी. और कैटेगरी की जो रेंज है, हमारे जो बार के अंदर कौन सा डेटा आने को होना, उसको आपको क्या करना है, आर डिवाइडेड बाय सी. सी कहां से आएगा? ये सी कितना लिया था मैंने? 9. अगर आपके डेटा की रेंज है, फॉर एग्जांपल जो मिनिमम और मैक्सिमम का डिफरेंस है, मिनिमम वैल्यू आपकी है 5, मैक्सिमम वैल्यू है 25, ओके, और दोनों का बीच का हो गया डिफरेंस 20, तो 20 डिवाइडेड बाय 9 जो आएगा 2 पॉइंट समथिंग, ओके, 2.1 पॉइंट समथिंग आएगा उसकी वैल्यू, सॉरी 2.2 आएगा, 2.2.2 है ना. सो दिस शुड बी द रेंज ऑफ योर बीन. कम से कम इतना होना चाहिए, उससे ज्यादा आप ले सकते हो. ठीक है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा इतना होना चाहिए, उससे कम आप ले सकते हो. सो फाइंड आउट द एजेस ऑफ द कैटेगरी की ओवरलैपिंग नहीं होना चाहिए. अब उसको सिलेक्ट करने के लिए आपको जो लोअर वैल्यू है 5 जो है ना, मिनिमम वैल्यू से नीचे, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर 5 मिनिमम वैल्यू थी आपकी तो आप वहां 4 से शुरू करोगे. यू विल स्टार्ट विद द 4 एंड देन यू विल ऐड दिस 2.22 इनटू दैट. So 4 and 2.2. So one first will be 6.22. So 4 से लेके 6.22. Then 6.23 से लेके again you will add 2.22 to that. So 8.44. So like that you keep on doing up to more than 25. So you will have then beans categorized into this data and you will get the histogram. Now, okay, it is a little bit confusing. So what we are going to do tomorrow, we will go to the Excel sheet and properly I will tell you, we will, based on the data, we will calculate the bins required, then we will calculate the bin range, we will make these ranges and we will tell you how to plot the graph. Okay, that we are going to do it tomorrow. Now अगर आपके पास कोई डेटा है, आपका डेटा 50-60 नंबर डेटा अगर आपके पास है, यू हैव द स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट, यू कैन शेयर विथ मी द डेटा एंड द स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट. वी कैन प्रिपेयर अ हिस्टोग्राम फॉर योर डेटा ऑल्सो फॉर बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग इफ यू वांट. ओके, सो दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे. टेल मी इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड टू टुडे सेशन. अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चंस है आपके इसमें तो यू कैन आस्क मी. What we are going to see tomorrow, first we will prepare the histogram for this data. Now you see, this is the data of the tensile strength of 2 millimeter wire. I am just taking appropriate example, just hypothetical example. Okay, now I want to see where my this tensile strength data is distributed. Now I have specification limit, for example, from 120 to 135, 115 to 135, and I want to check where my data is distributed. Just looking at the data, can somebody tell me which data has appeared how many times? Can you tell me? Is it possible for you? क्या आप बता पाओगे मुझे कौन सा डेटा कितने बार आया है अभी? जैसे आपने मुझे वेट का अप्रोक्सीमेट बता दिया था, आप नहीं बता पाओगे बिकॉज इट्स अ ह्यूज डेटा, टू मच ऑफ अ डेटा. सो इंडस्ट्रीज यू हैव टू प्ले विद अ लॉट एंड लॉट ऑफ डेटा. और इस डेटा को प्रॉपरली अगर आपको एनालाइज करना है, प्रॉपरली अगर प्ले करना है, यू रिक्वायर द टूल्स इन योर हैंड. अब प्रॉपर टूल अगर यूज करोगे तो प्रॉपर काम होगा. जैसे नेल को फिक्स करना है तो आपको हैमर होना चाहिए, स्क्रू ड्राइवर को फिक्स करना है तो आपको स्क्रू को फिक्स करना है तो आपके पास स्क्रू ड्राइवर होना चाहिए. So you need to use the appropriate tool for appropriate function. तो वैसे ही जो हमारे टूल्स है QC टूल्स, आपको appropriate tool यूज करना है for the appropriate analysis. You need to use the appropriate tool for the appropriate analysis. So this is, tomorrow we are going to see this, and then we will go through the various kinds of histograms depending on the shape. Okay, normal, skewed, double peak, plateau type. Then there is the H peak type, truncated, dog foot type, and there is a hard cut also. Hard cut is also there. This is basically truncated is also known as the hard cut, and then the dog food. So you will come to know what is this dog food, what is this, right? So tomorrow we are going to see this. So if you have any question, you can ask. Else we will close today's session. See you tomorrow at the. What we will do, if possible for you people, we start at 6:30 tomorrow, if possible, and then we finish by 9 o'clock, because today we have taken for the lesser time. So tomorrow we can finish that, because tomorrow we have to complete the session.